Are you ready? Okay, we're out of executive session at 8:06. And now we move on to so we need to take action on items discussed in executive session. Do I have a motion to approve items? Bo made a motion, seconded by Red. All in favor? Motion carries 7-0. And then we will move on to public forum. And we have 2 signed up tonight to speak, is that right? Yeah. Okay. So first I'm going to read the open forum procedure. So the next item on our agenda is public forum. This is the time for citizens, staff, or students to provide their comments to the board. Statements and questions from the audience will not be permitted during other portions of the meeting, so please let us hear from you now if you have comments to present. To have your comments heard tonight, your name and the subject matter of your comments must be written on the sign-in sheet prior to the start of the meeting, which is located in the front of the meeting room. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes to complete his or her comments, and as the presiding officer, I will strictly enforce that time limit. If a group of people want to be heard on the same topic, the board asks that they designate a spokesperson to avoid needless repetition. The board shall allot no more than 30 minutes for the public forum portion of the meeting. The board has adopted rules to preclude the abuse of open forum by, for example, anyone uselessly repeating the same comment or complaint meeting after meeting. In the event your comment, in the judgment of the presiding officer, constitutes a complaint against an employee or officer, the presiding officer will interrupt and ask you to stop and direct you to proceed with the district's formal grievance procedures, DGBA, FNG, or GF local. With those cautions in mind, we will now be glad to hear the general comments. And Robert Gibertson, you are first. Good, thank you.
Hopefully y'all can all hear me. My name is Robert Gibertson. I have several students in the school district. My kids range from right now 9-month-old at home and up to a 15-year-old. So I've got 8 kids still at home, still going to be coming through the system. And I've got a few concerns. The line's not very long on there to give much to write on, but one of my concerns is the dress code policy and the fact that, my kids have been at home for part of the online learning as well and in-person learning, and they feel that they're being attacked or harassed by Ms. Compton at the Bailey school because of their hair color. He was out of school for 3 weeks, and his first day back, she pops in and puts him on ISS over his hair color. And he's got dark hair anyways. And the only thing you could see of his hair is if it was in a very bright area, it could have a little bit of a tint to it. Okay? And then she was harassing her for 3 days the week prior and over her hair color, and told her she had to keep it pulled up because it was less noticeable that she had a different hair color. Okay? She's been in compliance with that. There was one day her pony broke, didn't have it available, and Miss Compton called me and told me if I didn't bring her another pony, then she was going to get put out of school and have to go over online learning again. And the hair color of anybody doesn't determine how well they learn in school. It doesn't keep them from learning in school. There's staff members that have almost blue and white hair in the office. It's kind of a silverish blue. It's Miss Compton alone has 3 different hair colors.
Can I interrupt you right there, Mr.? I'm sorry. We cannot speak to as a specific employee.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
As far as general employees, there's employees that have hair color of multiple colors and not their natural color. And so I would ask that the board would look at removing on the dress code policy the hair color from that. This seems to be an issue. And it's not the first time I've had one of my kids that get approached by an employee of the school regarding hair of some sort, whether it be a haircut style or for one time his hair was down here to his collar and they raised Cain about that because it was longer than it was touching his collar. Where is this right? I don't feel that the hair has anything to do with how well a child learns or doesn't learn in school. Okay. The other thing I have an issue with is it looks like, and I'm being approached by several students that I've helped coach in the past in the youth football program, and they're reaching out to me and telling me they're looking at moving out of North Lamar District and going to other schools. My own son, the oldest one, pulled out of North Lamar because of the athletic program. And it seems that there's got to be something going on, even with evidently the new coach, or something is not quite working well with the students, because I've even had already 2 students approach me that have been on the football field and been in the football team this season that have said that they're removing themselves from the school next school year, and they're going to go to another school. And something's not quite right there. I've got messages on my phone from where they've sent me messages regarding the fact they don't feel that they're being done right in the program. And my own son won't tell me exactly what made him decide to pull out when he's been a diehard North Lamar Panther the whole time. I've coached him in Pee Wee. I was in there with the group when Bo was coaching as well. And I've been doing the youth football program for North Lamar for 9 years now. And our numbers have gone down a little bit this year due to the COVID, but I think we'll get back next year with it. But eventually I'd like to have a better program where we have maybe a little more support from the school than what we've had in the past. Because what we do is try to get the fundamentals so that when they come up to Stone and hit 7th grade, then they're ready to go and know what they're doing. I feel I'm pretty active with the school and with the youth. As far as my kids coming up, I try to be active in all the things going on. I contribute anytime they want anything. I'm a contributor for those things, whether it be snacks, programs, or whatnot. I try to help out with all of those. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've got right now.
Time is up. Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, and then Jennifer Cooper, you are up.
I'm Jennifer. This is the first board meeting I've been to, I think, and I've worked here 22 years, so I'll be quick. My son Jason's 18. He is a senior, and my daughter Addie is in 7th grade. And between the two of them, they have been involved in most sports that North Lamar offers. And I've seen the hours and the heart that the coaches put into our student athletes. Many coaches spend their summers, most of them spend their summers making sure their athletes have access to opportunities to improve and practice. I don't know if we're supposed to say names. Coach, I don't know if I can say their names, but the basketball coaches spent most of the summer letting their junior high and high school kids finding tournaments for them, but arranging parent volunteers to coach them and setting up contact information with the players so that they could play and practice all summer long, and then sometimes they would go and cheer them along. So they worked really hard and gave a bunch of time for that. And then our baseball coach helped his student athletes find summer and fall programs so that they could practice and play all summer, so that those that wanted could get even college exposure. And he's also included some junior high athletes in some of the summer outside programs and recognition to help get those guys excited. And then most all coaches staff the camps, open gyms, facilities, and so they spend most of our summer being there for our kids. As you guys know, this was the first year for middle school softball, and the coach for that team, the majority of that team is made up of girls who haven't played since they were little. They could barely throw, catch. I know some of you saw them, but it was a challenge. They started out really weak, and they had limited practice because they shared with volleyball, and COVID hit, cut out a bunch of students. But the level that those girls were able to go to by the end of the season, the coaches worked their magic and poured their heart into them, and they were doing great things by the end of the season. And I can't imagine the level they would have been to just given more time and more energy. So that is a great program that you could see marked improvement over the girls. All the junior high coaches that I've dealt with have been great. They start from scratch teaching those kids, and so I know it's a challenge and frustrating for those guys. Our new AD, with his crazy hours he puts in for our kids and these extra hard decisions he's had to make because of COVID, I think he's been so professional, and he's given support and validity to all sports, girls and guys, and I appreciate that in him. If we were to total the hours our coaches put in, I think we know, they'd probably make less than minimum wage, and they're probably critiqued more than the president. So why do they do it? Because they love our kids. They want to win more than any of us. And every decision they make, like I said, is critiqued. They deserve our support, and they deserve our thanks. And in addition to all their coaching duties, the majority of them teach multiple classes with all those insane teaching responsibilities we were just talking about with the online. So I think the teachers, too, this is not to ignore the teachers at all for the great job they're doing. We know they teach our kids more than sports skills. They build character, accountability, teamwork, and unity. All those, well, I didn't get to mention any of their names, but those coaches have put tons of after hours into team bonding activities because we're raising a generation of entitled kids, and so the coaches have to constantly battle that. So being a part of something bigger than themselves and working together towards a common goal is maybe one of the most important things our coaches do for our kids. Perseverance. I've talked to several moms who went on and on about how much the football coaches cared about the boys and built their confidence. And they fought week after week with a small, young, injured team and motivated those boys not to give up. And they proved the games are about more than winning, even though we all love to win. And it's about more than personal glory. I know those coaches are working really hard to build back the football program. I know personally several seniors and junior athletes were contacted, texted repeatedly, encouraged to play by football coaches as well as their baseball coach. I've seen the texts, and so they're working really hard, and I think they'll be successful in building that back. And then the last part, the work ethic on the field and in the classroom. I work with high school students that are in special ed, and when we have special ed student athletes, they generally don't fail.
Time is up.
So the support they get, they deserve our support, and there's just no time for negativity with them.
Thank you. Okay, so Christy has the motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Vote, or Sheila, second? And all those in favor? And motion carries 7-0. And we will adjourn at 8:19. Thank you.